So,
All right, so we will start this off. Brandon the Doomer.
Brand.
So hey guys, so today we are sitting here with the beautiful, talented, there are not even enough words to describe Sakinah Iman.
Thank you.
Actress. You are a professional lymphatic drainage specialist. I hope I even said that right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, you're living in New York City. You don't work a 9-to-5 job. And a lot of people who watch my channel are really trying to, actually a comment had said it the best. I should have pulled the comment up. Shit.
No, you can do it now and then just put it in.
Okay. So I wanted to give a shout out to ChrisJDigital, who left a really awesome comment, basically saying he's on a similar journey, trying to improve multiple aspects of his life, spiritual, mental, starting a business, and improving his health. And he basically had a wake-up call while working at his dead-end warehouse job. And so that really does encapsulate this channel and encapsulate sort of the path that I'm on, the path that you're on is, we don't want to work 9-to-5 jobs. We want to be able to
Be self-sufficient.
And we want the full circle. We want financial health, financial health, physical health, and mental health. And spiritual health.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are finding that when we're working a 9-to-5 job, and you're working like that, it takes a toll on your physical, mental health.
Yeah, absolutely.
People would want to know, so you don't work a 9-to-5 job?
Absolutely not. I hate 9-to-5s. I want to, even the water bottle hate 9-to-5s. Like, I want to be respected for my time, my energy, my peace. I want to be able to travel when I want to. Like last year, I just out of nowhere was like, you know what? I need to go to Costa Rica. Like,
yeah, you just went.
I originally went for 1 week, and then I said, I want to stay another week, and I stayed another week. You know?
And you only get that kind of flexibility,
when you're on your own time. I don't have to beg somebody for time or be so anxious that I'm gonna lose money because, or lose a job if I don't have the time, or if I don't follow my intuition. That's like, I feel like 9-to-5 jobs really kill people's spirits because our spirits thrive on intuition, our intuitive nature to just go with what we're feeling. And you can't go with your feeling when you have a job like that.
Exactly.
And not to say you should be careless, but you still need to have some level of enough love for yourself to listen to yourself.
Yeah, and enough freedom to move around. Like
exactly.
the video that guy left the comment, it was like I was in the middle of doing inspections. I accidentally drove through the park, and I was like, well, why not? I'm going to get out of my car and walk around the park for a little bit. And if I was on the clock, because I did do a job where I was driving around a lot, I did not have time to stop in the places I was driving through. So yeah, that flexibility to just take 20 minutes. I could have taken hours if I wanted to. I had as much time, but at the same time, you got to get your work done.
You got to get to work. Being an entrepreneur is not for people who just want to sit at home all day.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to have an ambition and a drive to. I want to say the one thing that you want to do is figure out why you're here on this earth. What is your purpose? Whatever your purpose is, connect that to how you can help people. So if you're really, really funny, just start making jokes on any platform, right? If you have this really great knack for colors and shapes and textures, then show people the designs that you love. You know what I mean? And even if you're not an artist, let's say you're great at math, there's ways where you can take the skills that you were naturally born with and create income from that. And I know people say that all the time, like these big gurus and stuff. It's not a what's the word?
It's not like just all woo-woo or...
It's not woo-woo, and it's not like just a quote to say because it sounds pretty. It is so real. When you figure out what you're good at and then enhance those skills by maybe taking a class or maybe getting a license in that thing, then you're going to make mad money because people want to be taken care of and helped by experts, by people who know what they're doing. But not only that, people want to be taken care of by other people who are passionate about what they're doing. So if you find what your passion is, that's going to be obvious to people. They're going to see the joy in your face and in your spirit. They're going to feel you. They're going to want to be around you. They're going to want to pay you, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I guess the first question is when did you know, or when did you realize you didn't want to work a 9-to-5 job, or what was the last 9-to-5 job you worked like, and how did you get out of that, or how did you become an entrepreneur?
The last 9-to-5, it's been so long. It's been so long. I worked as a teacher for a year. They didn't even want me to leave because, you know, they need teachers. Mm-hmm. But that was, I don't know why I did that. I think I just did that because I wanted supplemental income from what I was already making. And I was like, I could use more money, and $55K is not bad. But I didn't realize that it was so all-consuming. But yeah, when you're taking care of 30 kids.
Yeah, and it's like you're staying there late. You're grading papers.
Yes.
You got to work outside of school, creating
Yes.
lesson plans and parent-teacher conferences and emails
and I'm a perfectionist, so if I have a job, I'm gonna try to do everything and overachieve.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same exact way.
Yeah.
I made the same mistakes too.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you know you don't want to work a job. Mm-hmm. How do you afford an apartment? How do you live in New York City without a 9-to-5 job?
I want to say this is a huge thing. When you're looking to grow your self-worth or grow your net worth, along the way, you're going to be tested. The way that you could really make good money is by throwing yourself into the fire and get tested like as much as you possibly can. They say fail as much as you can, right? Mm-hmm. So what I did was I was in multiple competitions, multiple auditions, I just threw myself in the fire. You think it's because I was confident? No, it's because I was at my wit's end. Like I was desperate. I was living in a house. I was actually living with family. And at that time, the family member that I was living with was like a hoarder. So there was stuff everywhere. There was roaches.
Oof. So you wanted to get out.
I was at the bottom of the bottom. Like, I was like, I can't live like this. I cannot live like this. And I knew I had talent. I knew I had resources, not even resources, but I knew that there were competitions that I knew of. I knew that there were auditions that I could just go to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I researched all the places that I can apply to. So I completely said, you know what? I'm not going to like cry, sit here in this living room with a roach in the corner. Like, I'm not going to be in this bathroom that's not, you know, clean. I love cleanliness. I love like space. You know, I said, I have to create this for myself.
Yeah.
And that was after college. I was like, 21, you know? So that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to apply to as many things as I can, and I'm going to just, you know, go for it.
Yeah, so you had that drive. Yes. You had that. Yes. You had the vision. You knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
So you went out there and you just attacked it from different angles and kept applying yourself, and you failed and picked up. You learned. Yes,
I was terrified the whole time, but you can't allow fear to like keep you stuck and stagnant and not happy or just miserable. You know what I mean?
So what would you say to people, like, I think their biggest thing holding them back from like starting a business or even starting a YouTube channel is fear. Like I was afraid of what people would think of me, or I was even afraid of getting like haters or negative comments and stuff. And sometimes I do, but I kind of just laugh it off and just keep going.
Right.
Or like, what would you say to somebody who's afraid of dealing with that?
People are only going to treat you the way they treat themselves. Just remember that. Like, if somebody is shitty to you, believe me, they even shittier to their damn self. If they calling you a loser, imagine what they waking up to.
Especially calling you a loser because you're trying to do something. And people will see that. Sometimes people will see that you're trying to better yourself, or they see that you're going after something bigger, and they might attack you or try to bring you down, or even people have just the fear of getting started, the fear of failing. Yeah, exactly. So if anything, when people are really mean to me, like for example, so I'm a filmmaker, okay, and I have a few films out. One of my films blessedly made it to Showtime, Paramount Plus.
I didn't even know that they saw my film. I put my film out there just because I wanted to share my art. And they found it. They said, we're obsessed. We love this. We want to license it. It's a funny taboo. It's very like racy, you know, it's scandalous, you know, like there's some it's not for children, like you but it's a spoken word piece, right? And it talks about the double standard between male and female promiscuity. And Showtime reached out to me and was like, we obsessed, you know, we have to license this. And I'm like, it's a short film. I didn't even know they licensed short films. It's only 4 minutes. It's called He Wants to Know My Number. And they licensed it. It became the only spoken word film ever to be licensed on a major television network.
Wow.
And like, you know, I had no idea that was going to happen. I just said, let me put this art out there, right? But the fact that they reached out to me and it's on there, now people are seeing me more publicly. Somebody reached out to me because of that film and like cursed me out, dragged me for filth.
Wow.
This guy, he was like, how dare you? He's like, women are not supposed to be seen in this light. He's like, how could, he said, he said, you're a cum bucket.
Wow.
Mind you, there's no nudity in this thing.
Yeah, it's just an art piece.
It's just an art piece, in my opinion, about how men and women should have equal opportunity of having different, you know, sex partners the way that they feel, right? And, you know, not to say you should be out here in the streets. However, I feel like if you're waiting or looking for the one, you know, the same way that men date, women should date, you know? And it doesn't matter how many people you've dated before a relationship. That's your past. You know what I mean? Now you're focusing on this person. If they feel like they need to know the number of partners you've had prior, then that's an issue, you know? So anyways.
We'll put a link to that film in the video description too.
Thank you. I'll send the Vimeo link because some people don't have Showtime.
Oh, okay.
So, or Paramount Plus. So if you have Paramount, you can see it on that too. But I say that to say this guy who was just dragging me for filth, he was what he said. He said he gave me like a backwards compliment. He said you're lucky. He said you're lucky you have a pretty face, because if you didn't have a pretty face.
I mean, you deal with that. When you put yourself out there, this is the type of stuff you deal with. There's some of the comments I get on a video where I'm literally trying to like help, like show people like, hey, this is how, one way I can make money. Like people will hate you for it.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
yeah.
But you just pick up and you move on.
He threatened my life. And I was like, oh my God, like that's a very visceral response. But one of my friends, she said, he sounds like he wants you.
Well, he's probably upset.
Right. But then he also was just so, like some people are so, traumatized and tortured by their past that don't allow their negativity or their like issue to don't personalize it. Don't allow it to make you to make you feel like it's something that has to do with you or something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it has nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with what they, because everyone else in that has seen the film has loved it and raved about it, said they're obsessed, blah blah blah, and then he comes out and it's just like, this is the worst thing in the world. So you can make something great, and many people will still think it's the worst thing in the world. You can't please everybody.
No, you can't, and you really can't. And so, I mean, we're trying to get the 360, like the financial health or financial wealth. I guess it is health or wealth. The spiritual health and the physical health. So how have you tied all of those things in together to have a better life, especially after not working?
Right. Meditation is my sanctuary. It is like my, respite. Where you can meditate wherever you are. Just find the peace within you. I know it sounds cliche. Like I'm trying so hard not to sound cliche. It's just because cliches are cliches for a reason. People keep saying it because it's true.
Yeah,
like listen to people. There's a lot of truth to it. Like even Kendrick Lamar said that he meditates 30 minutes a day. I didn't even get to that point. I'm more so like around like 15 minutes. The most I meditate is probably 20 minutes. I have meditated for an hour before, but those are rare. Like I've probably done that. Like I can count both of my hands how many times I've meditated for an hour. But I'm working up to a point where yes, meditation is more like just, it has to be a ritual, because the same way that we go to the doctor for our body's physical health, it's like we don't pay attention enough to the thing that creates the physical deficiencies. You know, whatever's in your mind, you can create sickness. So I think the same way you can create sickness, create wellness, you know, create prosperity, you know, create a way for yourself. And it really does start with like figuring out what the hell you want to do, and then doing that till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people it took me 8 months to get my first inspection when I started my business. 8 months of just going to meetups, calling realtors, handing out business cards, and you just don't give up.
Yeah.
And you know, and one thing we were talking about was, you know, networking, and how like a lot of times you don't feel like networking, especially after you've been working all day. But what happens when you show up to some of these networking events? Like
Exactly.
it leads to opportunities, and those lead to more opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about this earlier, like a lot of the times when you get the best jobs, it was because you knew somebody who gave you that job. So try your best to, whatever it is that you find out you want to do, look at all the people in your area. You don't got to go and travel to New York or travel to this state or travel, same state that you live in, stay in that state, build the contacts in that state, and work your way through, get experience in that job or get experience in that industry, you know. Find the people in your town that are really good at that thing. Figure out how you can be useful to them, whether you might have to work for free for a little bit, you know, or just become an assistant with a low pay and work your way up. You will start to see how it's almost easy to not, it's easy to make money when you think about it. It is easy to make money, especially when you're working under somebody who is a high paying person. To them, you know, giving you $10,000 is not much if they're a millionaire.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Especially if you're providing a lot of value to them.
Exactly. So find some people in your area that make good money in the industry that you want to be in, and just figure out how you can work with them. Email them. Email all of them. It could be multiple people. And if not your area, if you found somebody in another area, email them. You know, really, you have to do your research. That research is everything, because that's the only way you're going to find opportunities, whether it's emailing people that's in your industry or finding out the applications or competitions. You know what I mean? If you're an actor or whatever, auditions, you know, dancer or whatever. So it's like you're never going to be successful if you don't like head first run into making things happen for yourself. Nobody's going to just hand over. You can't just say, oh, God doesn't love me because nothing ever works out for me. Well, are you working out for yourself? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Are you, like, really ask yourself? Because I had to ask myself that too. I know I could be working harder. So I'd say, okay, you know what? And when I say harder, I don't mean don't kill yourself, you know, working. But when you like something, it's not going to always feel like work. Really try to get to those places that you love those things, and you can make a living out of those things. Those things are in demand. People need them. And just make it happen. You know, get the mentors and make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and having mentorship and guidance, I think, is big. I couldn't become a home inspector without shadowing another inspector. Like, part of the requirements was I had to go out to the field for a certain amount of hours, certain amount of inspections, and shadow other inspectors. And you know, again, I literally could not get my license without doing that. So some type of mentorship. You need somebody to guide you. And even my music, the most progress I made was when I had a dedicated mentor who took me under his wing. And the way you even get to that point was like I had to literally email the guy and like almost beg him and show him like how I got all this potential, but like something's missing.
That's good. And look at you. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
like, even with the lymphatic drainage, I would have never had the lymphatic drainage job had I not followed my passion for acting and music. I was in an off-Broadway musical, and I was only in the musical because I was telling you, because I was busking singing in the train station. And the writer, the doctor from Hawaii, who wrote this musical, saw me singing in the subway and said, I want to create a play with artists like you, and I want you to be yourself in this play. So I was one of the artists that was in this play, and they used my real name, they used my real music, and I was in this musical. You know what I mean?
Wow,
and then the lady in the front row of that musical was a master lymphatic drainage therapist, and she was like, she loved the musical. We became friends, and I studied health communication and theater in college. So when I was talking to her, she was like, you know so much about health. I'm looking for an apprentice. And then she was like, would you want to be apprenticed by me? I was like, absolutely. I've been looking to get more into health. All I've done is acting and theater my whole life. I want to do more health. And then from there, I started, she got me working at the biggest biohacking company in New York. And from there, I was making stupid money. You know what I mean? Like, just randomly. You know what I mean? Like, if you follow like that intuitive feeling in you, there's no way that you're gonna fall, because you were created for a reason. If you believe so, I believe that we were all created for a purpose, and when you follow that purpose, it's like the path just keeps
it almost carves itself out.
And it don't mean that it's gonna be bad and not all good. There's gonna be some falls, but that's just to test you to see if you could really persevere through all of the mud.
Everything's a test. Yeah, it's all about perseverance, especially when you're trying to be an entrepreneur, especially when you're trying to start a business. You're going to get a lot of no's before you get any yeses. I guess I want to wrap it up before it gets too long, because I like to keep the videos kind of short.
Yes.
But the biggest takeaways I have from you is that you've been open to opportunity when it presents itself. So things that, okay, you're on stage acting, but somebody comes with a opportunity in a different field, which you're still interested in, but you follow through with that. I think you show up to the meetups, to all the networking that you do. And I feel like I had another really good one.
I guess, like, really, even if you're afraid, still do it.
Yeah, especially, like, of course I was afraid to start my business, to go out there, to do my first inspection by myself. But you just do it, even if you're not ready. I wasn't even ready when I did my first inspection. I just did it. I showed up because they were paying me.
Right.
I was like, I really want that money. So it's like, dance, monkey, dance. Oh, I danced. I danced. I did whatever they said. You know?
Dance.
Oh, man. So.
Damn.
And one time, actually, like, I had to crawl through a muddy crawl space.
Oh, shit.
You know? And it's like I didn't want to do it, but I saw the money that they were paying me, and I just crawled in that. I came out covered in mud, and they're like, how do you do this stuff? I was like, you know? But yeah, it's showing up, it's taking opportunities as they present themselves. It's not giving up on yourself. Oh, the other thing was like how you're busking in the subway. So it's like when my business gets slow, I got to start, you can't just sit on your hands. You got to go out there, drive more business. You've got to find, you got to hustle.
Right. But hustling with a passion, like with what you like to do, figure out a way to make what you like to do something you can make money from.
That's the biggest
You're going to
thing.
be obsessed with it, and you're going to keep doing it and going to get better at it, and you're going to make money. It's just inevitable.
I love it. I think we should end there. I think that's the perfect way. Thank you so much, Sakinah.
Of course.
I'm going to put Sakinah's information in the description. You can follow her on Instagram. I guess that's the biggest one where all your stuff is.
Instagram is good.
We should put a link to that video. And the
Waiting tables, maybe?
yes, the waiting table. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right. She has so many projects, so much going on. I mean, this is
Well, the
an
waiting
example.
tables was back in the day, but
But it doesn't matter. The fact is, like, you were not sleeping.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you sleep, but at the same time, like, this woman you're always doing something.
Thank you.
Always.
Same with you. Same.
Yeah,
same.
there's too many projects, not enough time in the day. But that's the point, guys. I mean, if you're sitting home, sitting on your hands, if you're not meeting people, how many people did you meet this week? If the answer is 0, you are nowhere near being an entrepreneur. You can't make money in a vacuum. Money is the exchange, is an exchange between people. and goods and services.
And meeting people online is, valuable too.
It does count.
So
yes, it
definitely
does count.
make sure you don't only have to in person. In person's great, but meeting people online, digital marketing is like
It's very valid. You could do
valid.
business around
you could
the
be
world.
You could be a millionaire with
yeah.
digital marketing. So if you want to get into something,
Yeah. So just guys, anything. Do something. That's the damn point. Get off your ass. Do something. Learn something. Work out. Just eat better. Like, damn.
yeah, just love yourself.
Love yourself. Love yourself enough that you're gonna take care of yourself, and you're gonna push yourself to be great.
Yeah, you matter.
And bring out the best that's within you.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me and Sakinah today.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys on the next one. All right.
Peace.
Peace out, guys. That should be good.